When we think of Armistice Day, we often think of poppies, but at Fordingbridge Museum, it's socks that are at the centre of a World War I commemoration project. The project has been asking people to knit heelless socks that have become synonymous with World War I soldiers in the trenches.
Well, we just thought it'd be a bit of fun, really. We didn't really expect people to take it up in quite the way they did, but there are an awful lot of people out there who just love knitting, and I think it was just a nice way of reenacting the past in many ways. And this heelless sock sort of just took everybody's imagination. There's normally a theme, and this played havoc with the poor soldiers' very wet, soggy feet. So Lord Kitchener, so we are told, invented or dreamt up a knitting pattern to make a heelless sock. And this is what a heelless sock looks like. So that's where the heel would be, to prevent any seam to lacerate the poor chap's feet. We wanted to do this as a little bit of light relief, perhaps. We just had no idea it was going to take off as it has, actually. And it's fascinating to see how they turn out a little bit differently with everybody who knits them.
The appeal was launched in March, and since then the project has inspired many people in the community to pick up their knitting needles. The museum has already been sent 22 pairs of socks, with 10 coming from as far as Canada.
One of the most exciting moments we had not very long ago was when a party of knitters from Ontario in Canada came over to present us with 10 pairs of socks that their knitting league had knitted. And this was a lovely thing. The connection with Fordingbridge was that somebody who lives nearby had seen the article, the original article, sent it to her sister who had emigrated to Canada many years ago, and said, "What do you think about this?" And the result was a lovely selection of 10 pairs of socks which came for our collection. Locally, we've had all sorts of local people knitting for us. One wonderful lady has knitted 5 pairs, 6 pairs herself, and they go on knitting.
The museum is run entirely on volunteers and relies on donations. But it isn't just the sock project that is paying homage to the past. Every nook and cranny is filled with historical items related to Fordingbridge's history.
It started many years ago by John Shearing, who was a great townsman. Everybody knew John Shearing, and he started to collect for his family way back 50, 60 years ago now, when one of his daughters didn't know what a gin trap was, and he couldn't believe that, so he thought, I'm start collecting to teach my children their heritage. And he ended up about 50 years later, when this place started, with about 8,000 or 9,000 artefacts and photographs. We took over from him towards the end of his life, and we've gone from there.
For such a small museum, the outreach and response to the call for knitted socks has been far greater than anticipated. And for Philippa, it's beneficial for the reputation of the small town.
It puts Fordingbridge on the map in a big way, I think, and shows that it's worth coming to see Fordingbridge. And I think Fordingbridge needs at the moment, when times are hard, every help it can. And to show that it's a place which can be a little bit of fun as well as interesting and historically so interesting is all to the good.
Fordingbridge Museum is a small place, you run on volunteers, so how does it feel for you guys then to see the public kind of rally around you and send you all these socks?
Well, it's absolutely thrilling. It's what we're all about. We're having fun with it. The people knitting, I think, are having fun. Everybody's having fun.
The sock project will continue to run until Armistice Day next year to commemorate the 100-year anniversary of the end of the First World War. Rhea Barton, That's TV.